when you think about it long enough, marriage begins to make sense. And why shouldn't it? Things can't go on the way they are forever. The change is good for you. Imagine, Easter's almost here. Things have been dragging on with the matchmaker for 3 months. Well, yes, it does seem shameful somehow. You there, step on! Has the matchmaker arrived?
Not a sign of her.
And did you see the tailor?
Yeah.
Well, is he working on my frock coat?
Yeah.
And is it almost ready?
Almost. He's putting the buttonholes in.
What did you say?
I said he's putting the buttonholes in.
But didn't he ask you why your master needed a brand new frock coat?
No.
Well, surely he must have said your master was going to get married.
No, he didn't.
But weren't there other frock coats in his shop? I can't be his only customer.
Yeah, there were other frock coats.
And didn't you notice that these frock coats were different from mine? That the cloth wasn't as good as mine?
That's true. The cloth wasn't as good as yours.
What did you say?
I said the cloth wasn't as good as yours.
I see. Well, now, surely he must have asked why this difference. Didn't he ask that?
Nope.
You're absolutely certain he didn't say that your master must be getting married?
Nope.
But didn't you tell him who I am and where I work?
Yeah.
Well, what did he say?
He said, I'll do my best.
All right. I've always been of the opinion that black is the best color for a frock coat. It's more serious. Leave the lighter hues to secretaries and clerks and the hoi polloi who don't know any better. When your rank is slightly more imposing, you have to observe certain... What is it you have to observe? Something. I forget the word. Damn it, it's a good word too. No, there's no getting around it. A court counselor in the civil service is as good as a lieutenant in the army any day. The only difference is you don't have to wear epaulets. You there, step on! Did you remember to buy the shoe polish?
I bought it.
But where did you buy it? In the shop on Volzasensky Street where I told you to.
Yeah, that's where.
Well, is it good shoe polish?
Yeah.
And did you shine my shoes with it?
Yeah.
And did it make them shine?
If you shine them, then they'll shine.
But when you bought the shoe polish, didn't anyone ask why your master needed it?
No.
Well, surely someone must have said your master was going to get married.
Nobody said anything.
All right, you can go. You might think that shoes were a small matter, but in a gathering of well-bred people, it is not going to go unnoticed if your shoes are slightly scuffed or don't fit properly. it creates the wrong impression somehow. But worst of all is if you have corns. I'll put up with anything as long as it isn't corns. You there, Stepan!
You called, sir?
Did you tell the bootmaker not to make my boots too tight?
I told him.
Well, what did he say?
He said he wouldn't make them too tight.
Getting married is a damn nuisance. It's not one thing, it's another. So many details to keep track of. No, damn it, it's not as easy as it's cracked up to be. You there, Stepan! I forgot to tell you that when
The old woman is here.
Oh, she came. Well, don't just stand there. Tell her to come in. It's an undertaking, all right? It's a major undertaking. Good morning, Nikolai Gogol. Well, what news? What developments? Take a chair and tell me everything. How? What? For example, her name. What's her name? Esmeralda?
Kaethe Schwehn.
Oh, yes, of course. Kaethe Schwehn. And is it true she's a spinster pushing 40?
Not this one, no. You'll thank your lucky stars day in and day out for a wife like this.
Fyodor Ivanovna, you're lying.
No, I'm a liar. God strike me dead if it isn't true.
And the dowry? What about the dowry? Let's go over it again.
The dowry. 1 2-story house in the Moskovsky district, worth its weight in gold. 700 rubles in rent from the corn factor. Tavern in the basement, driving clientele. 2 wooden annexes, one built completely out of wood and the other one with a stone foundation. Each brings in 400 rubles in rent. Now, and in the Viborg suburb, a vegetable garden, leased to a merchant in the cabbage trade. And what a merchant he is! A serious sober man who doesn't touch a drop. He's got 3 grown sons, 2 of them are married, and the third one he says, God, he's a young man and I'm old, and he can find the story.
But what about her? What does she look like?
Oh. She is refined. She has a cream and peaches complexion, and she's so sweet that words just can't express it. Your cup of joy will spill over. To friend and foe, you'll never stop singing my praises.
But isn't it true that she isn't a lady?
Well, she's a merchant's daughter. But she's a merchant's daughter. That would do credit to a general, eh? Well, she wouldn't even hear of marrying a merchant, she says. I don't care what he looks like, but he has to be a gentleman. On Sundays, she puts on a dress that rustles up to high heaven. She's a princess.
But I thought I made it quite clear what my rank was. Because a court counselor, you understand...
Court counselor, you understand? What is there to understand? She's already turned down one court counselor. Didn't take to him at all, of course. He had a nasty habit. Every time he opened his mouth, out flew a line. What could you do? He was a handsome man. He didn't like it either. But, you know, God moves in mysterious ways.
But don't you have any others?
What do you want with others? This one is the best.
Could there be someone even better?
You're not going to find another girl like this in 1,000 years.
Well, I better give it some thought. Why don't you come back day after tomorrow? We'll take it where we left off. Me lying here on the couch and then you telling me about...
Yeah, be reasonable, can't you? I've been coming here for 3 months and there's still no end in sight.
suppose you think there's no more to getting married than calling out to, hey, Stepan, bring my boots. You've got to weigh the pros and cons. Look at it from all sides.
That's it, good. If that's what you want to do is look, then we'll go look at it. Look at that. Oh, it'll happen. We'll leave right now while it's still early.
Right now?
Right now.
But the sky is overcast, isn't it? If I go outside, I'll get caught in the rain.
Too bad for you. You're getting gray hairs now anyway. Not going to be marriage material for much longer. No one's even going to care if you're court counselor. Plenty of fish in the sea, let me tell you. And you're not the most special of them.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What gray hairs? Where?
Why not gray hairs? Everybody gets them. Better watch out. They're getting awfully choosy, you know. This one won't do, that one won't do. I've got a captain that you couldn't hold a candle to. He's got a voice like a trombone. And a John Deavers.
I don't believe it. Where's the mirror? What makes you think I've got gray hairs? Stepan, hurry and bring the mirror. No! Wait. I'll get it myself. Oh, God help me. I'd rather have smallpox.
What are you doing here? And what kind of party did you marry me to?
What are you complaining about your wife, huh? What's the matter? Didn't you do your duty?
Do my duty with a wife like that. You think that you were doing me a favor?
Well, it's your idea, not mine. Give me a wife. Give me a wife. That's all I ever heard from you. It was your idea.
Vicious.
Get away from me. Get away.
Where? But what are you doing here? Don't tell me that Pudholios...
Well, why not? It says so in the Bible. Be multiple and fructify.
Well, that's sneaky little. He didn't breathe a word. Well.
What is the matter with you? Have you gone crazy? What a stupid thing to do, frighten me out of my skin.
Oh, can't you take a joke?
A joke? I almost had heart failure. And look, the mirror is broken. And it's valuable. It's an English mirror.
Oh, stop grousing. I'll buy you another.
Oh, yes, you'll buy me another. I know what kind of mirror you'll buy. It'll add 10 years to my age and give me warts.
Look, I'm the one who should be angry here. You have been keeping secrets from me. From me, your best friend. Are you really going to get married?
What rubbish. It never crossed my mind.
Oh, but there's the evidence. Staring you right in the eye. Look at her. Madam Matrimony. In person. Not that I have anything against it. It's a Christian inn. Patriotic duty. I shall be happy to take the whole matter personally. In hand.
Oh,
Yeah. That.
don't you touch me.
Let's have the facts. Who is she? What's she like, etc. What's her background? Gentry? Merchant? Peasant? Something else? What's her name?
Agatha Tikanovna.
Agathe Tihanovna Brandelisa.
Agatha Tikanovna Kukuryadna.
Of course, the one who lives in Baker's Row.
One who lives in Canister Court.
Candace Court. The frame house over the barber shop.
Stone House over the tavern.
Oh, the tavern. Where's there a tavern?
Then you walk into the courtyard and directly in front of you is a sentry box. Pass the sentry box and turn left and you stare right at it. What are you staring at? The house where the seamstress lives. We used to live with the secretary and said, only you don't go in to see the seamstress. You go next door to the stone house, which is the house where she lives. I got to have the bride.
All right. Got it straight now. You can go.
What?
You're not needed here anymore.
What, you think that a man can handle something like this?
Certainly I can. You'll just be in the way.
Oh, it's true. Fools rushing where angels fear to tread.
Go on. Mind your own business. your hairy nose out of this.
Steal the bread right out of my mouth, Coyote. I wouldn't soil my hands with trash like you. Why didn't I have the sense to keep my mouth shut?
All right. This isn't something that can be put off. Let's go.
But I haven't made up my mind. I was just toying with the idea.
Oh, come on. We'll go see her right now, and everything will be settled before you know it.
You can't be serious. You go right now.
But think. Really, just stop and think. Well, you can see for yourself. What's the point of being a bachelor? Look at your room. Well, what does it look like? You got a dirty old shoe in one corner and a wash tub in the other. You have a pile of tobacco and a stool, and here you are, holed up like some kind of step marmot.
Well, that's true. I'm not very tidy.
Yes! And as soon as you're married, you won't recognize yourself. You won't recognize anything. A sofa. A little lapdog. Some canary bird singing in a cage in the corner. Embroidery, huh? Imagine. You sit down on the sofa, and suddenly, the dear little thing sits down beside you, as pretty as a picture, and puts her soft little hand in yours.
Yes, it's true! There's nothing as soft as a woman's hand.
That's not all. They have other things besides hands. They have, words can't describe what they have. God knows what they have.
It's true! It would be very nice to have a pretty girl sitting beside me.
You see? You figured it out all for yourself. Now, all that remains is to get things organized. You don't have to worry about a thing. As for the wedding breakfast and all the rest, I'll take care of it. You'll need at least 6 magnums of champagne, indispensable, no matter what you say. And then you absolutely must lay in a case of Madeira. The bridesmaid has dozens of godmothers and aunts, and they're always difficult to please. And then you'll need some Riesling, too. What do you think? Well, as for food, I know a caterer who is just your man. He will fill you so full, you will not be able to stand up after eating.
Don't get so carried away. You make it sound as if I were already married.
And why not? Why put it off? Don't you see?
Me? Well, no, I don't see.
Oh, don't back out. You said you wanted to.
I just said it might not be a bad idea.
But we've already settled it. What's all this? Doesn't marriage appeal to you?
Well, yes, it appeals to me.
So, what's your objection?
Well, it's not really that I object. It's just that... funny, that's all.
Funny? What is funny about it?
Well, naturally, it's funny. I've been a bachelor all my life, and suddenly, all at once, I'm a husband.
Yes, but you ought to be ashamed. I see I'm going to have to talk to you man to man. Now, I want you to take a good look at yourself, just like you're looking at me now. Well, what do you see? Nothing! Just a stupid wall. And what's the sense in that? What have you been living for? Well, take another look. Tell me what you see. Just a stupid face, nothing more. Now imagine yourself surrounded by little children. Not just 1 or 2, but perhaps as many as 6! And all the spinning image of you. On the one hand, you have how many? Oh, yes. One court counselor, very nice. On the other, a whole troop of court counselors! Happy little cherub. And one happy little cherub will pull your whiskers with his chubby little fingers and you'll wag your tail. Can you imagine anything better than that?
But they'll get in the way and mess up all my paper.
Well, main thing is, they will all look exactly like you.
Well, yes. I guess it would be kind of fun. Some pudgy little fella. Some fat little puppy just like yourself.
Fun? Of course it would be fun. Incredible fun! Well, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Pace the bar. Hurry up with your master's coat.
I think I ought to wear my white waistcoat, though.
Oh, come on, it doesn't matter.
That damned laundress, she never puts in enough starch. Can't get my collar to stand up straight. Stefan, if you can't get it through her thick head, she has to do a better job. I'm going to take my business somewhere else. I swear, all the time she should be ironing, she is busy making cow eyes.
Come on. You are wasting time.
In a second. I will be there in a second. Listen till you go, midship. You know what? Why don't you go without me?
What? Have you lost your senses? Me? Go? Tell me this. Who is getting married? Me? Or you?
Well, something tells me not to. Let's wait until tomorrow.
You got something of the brain? What a dumb ox. You're all ready. And then let's not go. You're a jackass. You're a goddamn jackass.
Why are you swearing at me? What gives you the right to swear at me? What have I done to you?
You are a fool. A damn fool. Everybody knows it. Who is it that I've been going to all this trouble for? Who is it that I've been knocking myself inside out for? You idiot! And here you sit all day twiddling your thumbs. Damn solipsist! Yes. And what do you think it looks like? Well? Insect. You know what you are? There's a name for what you are, but I'm too polite to say it. You're an old woman. That's what you are.
My friend, you are. Have you taken leave of your senses? Don't you know any better than to call me names in front of my servants? Don't you have anywhere else to air your foul humor?
Oh, and don't you know? You wouldn't. You're enough to try anyone's patience. Like a civilized man, you do the reasonable thing. You decide to get married. And then suddenly, you start acting like a mule!
All right! I'll go. Only stop abusing me.
Oh, you'll go. Of course you'll go. You'd be crazy not to. Hurry up with your master's hat.
What an impossible person. I can't even talk to you. 1 minute you're sensible, and the next you start raving. You don't have any manners.
All right. I will behave.
king of diamonds in the middle, and here are tears, and a love letter. And the king of clubs on the left means great happiness. Only I have to beware of a malicious woman.
And who do you think is meant by the king of clubs?
I don't know.
I do.
Who?
Alexei Dmitrovich Starkov, the wool merchant. He's a fine man. It has to be him.
It can't be him. I'll bet anything it's not him.
Don't contradict me, Agafya Tikhonova. You know his beard is dark brown. Who else could be the king of clubs?
It can't be him. The king of clubs in that place has to be a gentleman. It's a far cry from a king of clubs to a merchant.
Agafya Tikhonova. If your dead father hear you, turn over in his grave. Tikhon Penthemonovich used to pound the table with his fist. Shout, I spit at the man who is ashamed to be a merchant. No daughter of mine is going to marry a colonel. I don't hear what you say. Doesn't a merchant serve the Tsar as well as the next man? And what's good enough for me is good enough for my daughter. That's what he used to say. All 5 of his fingers gripped the edge of the table. He had hands like buckets. They were so big. What a temper. If you want to know what I think, go with your late mother to an early grave.
And that's the kind of wicked man you want me to marry? I wouldn't marry a merchant for anything in the world.
But Alexei Dmitrovich is different.
No, I won't! He has a beard, and when he eats, his food dribbles down it. No, never.
And where do you think you're going to find a gentleman? Do you think one's going to fall out of the sky?
Yogla Ivanovna will find me one. She promised to find me the best kind there is.
My little lamb. She's a liar.
God forgive you, Arina Penthemonovna, for character exaggeration. Oh, Yogla Ivanovna, tell me something.
What I haven't done for you, there's nowhere that I haven't been. Government bureaus, private dwellings, barracks.
I even ran into the old hag that carried off the aircraft, and she called me the most unspeakable name. She says you're nothing but a... Well, I'm not going to stoop to read them. She says, stick to your own side of the street. You're taking the bread from my mouth. And I said straight back to her,
There's nothing that I wouldn't do for my little lady. I'd walk through fire for her. It's paid off. Wait till you see what I got for you. Some of them are calling today, and I ran ahead on purpose to let you know.
today? Oh, good heavens, you'll be on again. Don't be frightened. It's the easiest thing in the world. They come in, they look at you, you look at them, and if you don't like them, goodbye.
You managed to find somebody nice.
Yeah.
But how many are coming? Are there a lot? Oh, yes, about a half a dozen. It's the easiest thing in the world. If one doesn't suit you, another will. But are they gentlemen? Oh, every one of them. You're up and party.
They are all well-bred, refined gentlemen. First, Baltazar Baltazarovich Shevakin. He's the cream of the cream. I think this one was made for you. A retired naval man.
He says to me, Yevgeny Ivanovna, I want a girl with some meat on her bones. Not one of your skinny toothpicks. Well, then there's also Ivan Ivanovich.
He works for the government.
Oh, so important that I can hardly get in to see him.
He has a very impressive appearance. Solid. He says to me,
Don't waste your breath telling me she's this or she's that. I want to know one thing.
what's she worth?
Well, I says to him, I said she's got so much in cash and so much in property. And he says, you're lying, you witch. And he used such language it makes week long, and some days he's mounted to silver. Anybody else? There's one more, but it's none of my business. No, tell me about him. He's just a court counselor that the decoration on his buttonhole. You can't get him to do anything because he won't leave the house. What's his name? It's fine. For someone who was so frightened in the beginning, you're getting awfully choosy, young man.
Yes. What do they amount to anyway, all these gentlemen? Married all 6 of them, they wouldn't be worth one good merchant.
Ah, you're wrong, Arena Pantalemonovna. Everyone thinks more highly of a gentleman.
And who cares what everyone else thinks? Wasn't Alexei Dmitrovich right around in his sleigh with the sable hat on his head?
Ah, yes, and if he meets a gentleman coming along the other way, what does the gentleman say to him? Out of my way, dog. And if the gentleman walks into the merchant shop, what does he say? He says, show me your best roll of silk. Ah, never mind, please, huh? What does the merchant say to you? Yes, sir, at your service, sir. And what does the gentleman say to that? Take off your hat when I dress you. That's what he says.
And the merchant doesn't have to show him the silk if he doesn't want to, and then your gentleman goes naked. He has no clothes to wear.
Well, then the gentleman pulls out his sword and cuts off the merchant's head.
Well, then the merchant goes to the police to complain about the gentleman.
The gentleman goes to the senator to complain about the merchant.
Oh, well, the merchant goes to the governor to complain about the gentleman.
The gentleman goes
Eyewash. Governor's more important than the senator any day. You think so highly of your fine gentleman, just wait and see. He gets his comeuppance too. Someone at the door.
It's one of them.
Them who?
One of the gentlemen there.
Is the young lady at home?
Yes, sir. Come in. Oh, he's so fat. Wait here.
Wait! All right, I'll wait, but I better be short. They may miss me at the office. His Excellency might ask, what happened to Egg? Oh, he went to see about a wife. I'll see about him. Better check that inventory one more time. One two-story stone house. Yes. 2 annexes. 1 stone foundation, 1 wood. Maybe good for nothing but kindling, but the old woman said they're first class. Let's assume they're first class. 2 dozen silver spoons. Well, naturally can't start a household without silver spoons. 2 box fur coats, 4 large feather beds, 2 small feather beds. 6 silk dresses, 6 cotton dresses, 2 nightcaps, 2. Well, this item is just plain ridiculous. Linen napkins. Can't argue there. Whatever she likes is all right with me. But still, better check it all out. They promise houses and carriages. You end up with pillows and feather beds.
minute.
Good day, sir.
Do I have the honor of addressing my dear hostess's charming father?
You're mistaken. I have no children.
Oh, excuse me, please do.
There's something peculiar about that man's face. He must be here for the same reason I am. Surely you have some business with the lady of the house.
No, I'm merely here on a social call.
Social call, my eye. He wants to get married, scum.
Is the young lady at home?
Yes, sir.
Oh, could you help brush me off? The dust outside is not to be believed. Thank you, my dear, thank you. Here, please take this piece of lint. Oh, and this speck down here, I'm sure it must be a spider or something. Are you sure there's nothing on my coattails? Everything all right in back? There's something on my sleeve, too. Gentlemen, it's very good cause. English law. Where's like green? In 95, when the fleet was in Sicily, and I was still a midshipman, I had a uniform made up from it. And in 1801, under Pavel Petrovich, I was made a lieutenant, and the cloth was as good as new. In 1810, we sailed around the world, and it was only raveled a little at the seams. I didn't have it turned until 1815, when I retired from the service. I've been wearing it for 10 years since, and it's as good as new. Thank you, my dear. Well, aren't you pretty?
Excuse me, sir. You did say Sicily, didn't you? Would you be good enough to tell me if Sicily is an interesting country?
Oh, yes. It's a delightful place. We were there for 34 days. The vistas, I can tell you, are just staggering. There's majestic mountains, some kind of little fruit trees. Everywhere you look, there's lovely little Italian girls. There's little beauties you can't help but want to kiss them. There's all.
But do they have good manners?
Wonderful manners. The only women in Russia with manners as good are countesses. Oh, I used to walk down the street there. You know, a Russian naval lieutenant. Of course, you had epaulets here and gold braid. And those little beauties. All of the houses are rigged out with a sort of a balcony. And the roofs are as flat as this ceiling. Wait, and I'd look up, and there, on a balcony or a rooftop, I'd spot some charming little blossom. And naturally, to uphold the honor of a Russian naval officer, I'd...
she'd... And naturally, they wore these skirts with a kind of a taffeta here, little ribbons, all sorts of ladies' earrings. In a word, just good enough to eat.
What language is spoken in Sicily?
Why, French, of course.
So it's absolutely certain that all the young ladies in Sicily speak French.
All of them, without exception.
You're sure of that?
You might not believe this, but we were there for 34 days. And in 34 days' time, I didn't hear one of them utter a word of Russian.
Not a word?
Well, now I can't speak for the gentry or the seniors, that's the Sicilian officer class, but just take the case of the simple peasant who hauls around all kinds of rubbish. Just try asking him for some food in Russian. He won't understand a word, I swear to God. But if you say to him in French, datacci delle panne, or portate vino, he'll run and get it at once.
Is that so? Well, as I see it, Sicily must be an extremely interesting country. Why, take the peasant you just mentioned, for example. What of him? What's he really like? Does he have broad shoulders like the Russian peasant? Does he plow the fields?
I can't say about that. I don't know if they plow the fields or not. What about as far as taking snuff goes? I can tell you that not only does everybody sniff it in the nose, they also take it in the mouth. Transportation is very cheap there. Well, they have nothing but water, so there are gondolas everywhere. Oh, and those little beauties, they sit in them with their lace handkerchiefs in their pants. There were some sailors there, too, English officers like us. But at first it was very odd. We couldn't understand each other. But after a while, we managed to make ourselves understood. If you pointed to a bottle or a glass, it was clear you wanted a drink. And if you put your fingers in front of your mouth and puffed like this, everybody knew you wanted to smoke. I'd say in general, languages aren't as hard to learn as most people think. The sailors could understand each other after only 3 days.
Foreign countries are very fascinating. I'm always happy to be a man who's traveled. When I inquired to whom I owe the pleasure of this conversation,
Giovanni, sir, retired naval lieutenant. And for my part, may I have the honor of knowing whom I'm addressing?
Civil servant Ivan Pavlovich A.
Oh, yes, I had a bite to eat, too. The day is long and it's rather brisk out. I stopped in for some herring and a roll.
I don't think you heard me correctly. My family name is N.
Oh, you'll have to excuse me. I'm a little hard of hearing. I'd have the impression to stop in to eat an egg.
It is quite a nuisance. I considered asking His Excellency to address me as Bey, but my family took the negative view. They were afraid I'd be mistaken for a Turk.
Well, that often happens. Among the officers and the men of the 3rd Squadron, we had some of the strangest names. What? Shirt off? Pants off? Lieutenant Pastor serious impression on the sailors. They used to laugh when they'd hear the captain yell, "Get me off!"
Is the young lady home?
Well, look who's here.
Now pull yourself together and act like a man.
What a lot of riffraff. They can't all be looking for a wife. Where did you dig up these scarecrows?
These are not scarecrows. They're perfectly fine gentlemen.
If wishes were horses, beggars would ride.
Too many cooks spoil the broth.
Oh, well, many hands make light work. Where is she? What is she doing?
Is this?
The door to her bed.
Ah, no, she's dressing in there.
Oh, you want to take a look?
Oh,
I confess to a certain curiosity myself.
Nothing to see here, gentlemen. Just some white thing moving around. Who's to say whether it's a woman or a fellow? Somebody's here.
advertising timber for sale, and holding a position of financial responsibility in the Office of the Treasury, I came to inquire what type of timber it was, how much you were offering, and by what date it could be delivered.
We place no such notice. But you are welcome just the same. And what is your name?
Village Assessor Ivan Pavlovich A.
Please be seated. And if I might ask,
Well, I also read a notice of some kind in the paper. And I thought, what better way to look into it? The grass is green, the weather couldn't be finer.
and what is your name?
Retired naval lieutenant, Balthazar Balthazarovich Shevard. The second. There was another Lieutenant Shevard, but he retired before me. He was shot in the knee. Oh, poor fellow. The bullet ended at such an odd angle that it didn't actually strike his knee, but it went through the tendon behind, and that caused his leg to buckle. So that when he stood behind you, it was like being kicked in the shin.
And if I might ask,
Sociability, ma'am. I was in the neighborhood and I thought what would be the neighborly thing to do.
don't you live in the house across the street to Lubova, the merchant's wife, lives?
No, at the present time I'm living on the other side of town, but I do plan to move to this side of town.
Would you please sit down? And if I might ask,
You mean you really don't recognize me? And you don't either, young lady?
As far as I can tell, I've never seen you before.
Oh, but think. You must have seen me.
I really don't know where. Could it have been at the Barushkin?
Exactly. At the Brushins.
Oh. Then you must have heard what happened to her.
Of course, she got married.
That wouldn't be so bad. But no, she broke her leg.
and broken in two places. She was coming home in a carriage, and the driver was drunk. Crashed into a lamppost.
That's what I thought. Either she got married or she, broke her leg.
And what did you say your name was?
Why? Ilya Fomitch Kachkaryan. We're practically related. My wife never stops talking about it. But let me introduce my friend, Ivan Kuzmich Podkolyosin, court counselor. He serves in the dispatch department, where he is in charge of everything. He has organized the whole department to perfection, an invaluable man.
And what friend's name was?
Podkolyosin. Ivan Kuzmich Podkolyosin. The director is Amir. This is your man, Ivan Kuzmich Podkolyosin. He runs everything.
I see. Won't you please sit down?
Good day, Irina Panteleimonovna. I heard in the bazaar that you had some wool cloth for sale.
This isn't a shop for woolens or anything else.
Oh, have I come at the wrong time, or have you settled things without me?
Oh, please, Alexei Dmitrovich, working lad. See you anytime. Whether we're selling wool cloth or not.
Won't you please sit down?
Why? This morning it looked like it was going to pour rain, yet now somehow it doesn't.
Yes. The weather is simply unbelievable. At times, the sun shines. And at other times, it won't stop raining. I hate that.
I was in Sicily in spring. That's February, you know. And there were days when I would leave the house and it would be sunny. But then it would start to rain. And I'd get all wet.
What's worst of all is when you're caught alone in such weather. For a married man, it's not so bad. He has company. But for someone who's by himself, it is
Death! Absolute death!
it is sheer torture. God spare me such a fate.
And how, lady, given choice, would you decide? Why, permit us to know your preference. Forgive her for being so direct, but what calling would you prefer in a husband?
Yes, would you like me to be a man who would weather the high seas?
No, the best husband, in my opinion, is the one who can run a whole department single-handedly.
Why be prejudiced? Why not choose a husband who, though he served in the industry, knows the value of good manners? Young lady, decide!
Say thank you or gladly, Agapia.
What's that, ma'am?
What's your opinion, Agapia Tihana?
You can't just stand there. Say something. I'm ashamed. I really am. I'm gonna leave. No! I really am. Ah! Serena, you look after me. No, you're not leaving. This will look terrible. You have to stay here. I got ya. I got ya. I got ya. I'm going to leave. I really am. I'm going to leave. No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
de feminine toilette, a ribbon, a pin, something. What?
Did something happen?
Nothing happened. Why should something have happened?
Well, then why did she run out like that?
She's just shy. She had a moment of confusion. She sends her excuses and invites you all back later tonight for a cup of tea.
Tea? A cup of tea? That's what I hate about this. Always a snag. Today's not right. Come back tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, you're still swilling tea. They still have to think about it. Why make such mountains out of molehills? I'm a busy man and can't waste my time on it.
She's not bad looking, is she?
No, not bad looking.
I think she's a very pretty little girl.
The idiot has fallen in love. They may try. She is ugly. Ugly as sin.
Her nose is too long.
Well, I didn't notice her nose. I think she's a little flower.
Well, I see what you mean. I don't even know if she knows how to move well in polite society. Did anyone notice if she spoke French?
Well, why didn't you try her out in French? Maybe she does.
You think I speak French? No. I didn't have the benefit of that kind of higher education. My father was a swine. He didn't think to teach me French. He could have. I was young. He could have just beat it into me.
If you don't speak French, why does she have to speak it?
Well, she's a woman. She's a being of a higher order. She has to know French. If she didn't, well, she wouldn't. Well, she couldn't. Well, it would ruin everything.
That's his worry. What I'm going to do is have a look outside. If the house and everything else is what it's supposed to be, I'll have it settled by tonight. None of these shit stands a chance. Mangy showing. Girls aren't interested in types like that.
Oh, if you're going, I think perhaps I'll come along with you. Have a smoke? Maybe we're headed the same way. Well, that is, if you don't mind my asking in which direction your way lies.
The other side of town.
Well, that is a bit out my way. But I'll come along with you all the same.
Well, it's over my head, I gotta get some kind of. But when this is all over with, don't forget about me. My respects, gentlemen.
Well, what about us? Shouldn't we go too?
It's true, isn't it? She is very sweet.
What are you talking about? I didn't care for her at all.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Didn't you just say yourself she was pretty?
Well, yes, only, well, her nose is long. She doesn't speak French.
And what difference does that make? Do you?
Well, all the same, you shouldn't marry someone who doesn't speak French.
And why, pray?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Oh, you idiot. Just because you hear someone else say, you're a parrot. You're a mindless parrot. She is a beauty. A real beauty. You can't find girls like that.
Well, she did seem all right at first, but then I kept hearing long nose, long nose. I thought about it and I realized it was true. Her nose is long.
How can you be so naive? They said that to put you off, and I played it the same way. That's how these sort of things are done. Don't you know anything? It's a treasure. Her eyes alone. What eyes? They speak. They breathe. And her nose. It's a beautiful nose. Smooth as hell. You take another look.
She is rather pretty. forward. With so many to choose from, she should decide herself.
Why worry about the others? Are you afraid of the competition or what? I can send them all packing in a minute.
How can you do that?
That's my business. You just give me your word that you won't back out.
Why not? All right, I won't back out. I want to get married.
Your hand on it?
Here.
Fine. That's all I need.
Choosing is hard. It really is. There was only one or two of them, but four? Nikolai Gogol isn't bad looking, except he's thin. And Ivan Kuzmich isn't bad looking either. And to tell the truth, even though he's fat, Ivan Pavlovich is a fine figure of a man. Dear, what should I do? And I mustn't forget Balthazar Balthazarovich either. So hard to decide, so hard. If only I could take Nikolai Ivanovich's mouth and mix it with Ivan Kuzmich's nose, and then add in some of Ivan Pavlovich's dignity and Balthazar Balthazarovich's charm, I'd have no trouble deciding at all. But I can't. It just makes my head ache. I think the best thing to do is to decide by lot. That way it's all in God's hands. All I have to do is write their names down on slips of paper, mix them up, and whichever one comes out, comes out. Girls have so much to put up with. Being a girl is hard, especially when you're in love. Men are so lucky. They don't have to put up with these things. They don't even want to know about them. There. Now all the slips are ready. All I have to do is put them in my purse, shut my eyes, and let heaven make known its will. I do hope it's Nikolai Ivanovich. I mean, Ivan Kuzmich. But what makes Ivan Kuzmich better than all the others? No. Let heaven decide.
there to be ashamed of? Don't be shy.
I'm ashamed, I really am.
Well, take Ivan Kuzmich. Really? He's the man for you. He has done the most amazing things in this department. A wonderful man.
What about the others? What about Nikolai Gogol? There's nothing wrong with him.
Please, next to Ivan Kuzmich, he's nothing.
Why do you say that?
Well, it's obvious. Ivan Kuzmich is a man. Well, a man. A man of an exceptional kind.
What about Ivan Pavlovich?
Ivan Pavlovich is nothing, nothing. They're all nothing.
Do you really think so?
Of course. You can see for yourself. All you have to do is compare. No. Ivan Kuzmich every time! Who else is there? Some Ivan Pavlovich, some Nikolai Ivanovich. What sort of men are they? I ask you.
Yes, but you know, they're very nice.
Nice! They are horrible. Horrible. I suppose you look forward to being beaten the minute you're married. Of course it is. There's nothing worse.
And you really think I should take Ivan Kuzmich?
Ivan Kuzmich. No doubt about it. Ivan Kuzmich. This has turned out even better than I expected. Better run get Pudkiliosin at the cafe.
Then, you really advise me to take Ivan Kuzmich?
Absolutely. Ivan Kuzmich.
And you think I should turn the others down?
Of course. Turn them down.
But I don't know. Somehow it seems so embarrassing.
But what's embarrassing about it? Tell them you're too young to get married.
What if they don't believe me? What if they start asking questions?
Well, if you're worried about how to get rid of them, the easiest thing to say is, get lost.
I couldn't do that!
Of course you can. Just try. It'll work. I promise.
They might think it was rude.
Well, if you never see them again, what difference does it make?
Still, it doesn't seem quite right. They might get angry.
Well, let them. If they could do anything about it, it would be different. But the worst that can happen is that one of them might spit in your face.
Ah! That's exactly what I mean!
So what if that happens? Plenty of people have been spat at for goodness sake. I know what one is. A very handsome man, marvelous complexion. He was always pestering the head of his department for a raise until eventually the man got so fed up with it that he spat in his face. I swear to God. Give you a raise, he said. I'll give you one more. But the man got his raise all the same. So what if he got spat at? Of course, there might have been a problem if he didn't have his handkerchief on him, but his handkerchief was right in his breast pocket. So all he had to do was to take it out and wipe his face. Someone's at the door. It's probably one of them. I'd rather not be seen. Is there another way out?
Down the back stairs. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous. I'm trying to head to foot.
You can do it. Just keep your head on your shoulders. Goodbye. Now, for Pudkiliosin.
Young lady, I've come a bit early on purpose in order to speak with you in private, without being interrupted. Now, as to my position, I've already made it clear that I'm a lead assessor in the civil service, valued by my superiors, respected by my peers, feared by my subordinates. There's but one thing that remains to fill my cup of happiness. A partner, life.
Yes?
And now I've found that partner. That partner is you. She's not skin and bones. She's got something to her. Now, tell me without missing words. Yes or no?
You see, I'm still very young. I'm not really ready for marriage yet.
Well, then what the devil the matchmaker running back and forth for? Or perhaps you'd like to say something to clarify that statement. Why can't they do alone? How can a man get anything done?
Excuse me if I've come a little early this evening, young lady. Oh, there's someone else here. Well, my respect, Ivan Pavlovich.
You know what you do with respect. Now, young lady, in a word, yes or no? Damn, now.
Excuse me if I've come before the rules of etiquette permit. My respects, gentlemen.
You know what you do with respect. Snap your skinny legs in two. Now, young lady, I'm a very busy man and haven't time to waste on this. Yes or no?
Don't. What am I trying to say?
Don't what? What don't? What did you... What context don't? What point of view don't?
No, I didn't mean.
Get out! I'd rather remain with us.
Oh my God, he's going to see me!
You go ahead. I'll just be a minute. I have to fix my trouser strap.
Oh, you're going to back out again.
No, I won't. I promise I won't.
Fix his trouser strap.
Excuse me, sir, but could you tell me if the young lady's a bit now? Soft in the head?
Why? Did something happen?
Something inexplicable. She started yelling, he's going to beat me, he's going to beat me, and went out of the room. Why, Lord knows what got into her.
Oh, yes. She's like that sometimes. She's a little, cuckoo.
I understand you're a relative of hers.
Of course I am.
And exactly how are you related?
Oh, I don't know. My mother's aunt is something or other to her father. Maybe it's the other way around. I've never really gone into it myself. My wife knows more about it than I do.
Has she always been this way?
Oh, yes. Ever since she was a child.
Well, it would of course be better if she had all her faculties. But if something's missing, it's not the end of the world, as long as the dowry's in order.
Oh, but she's destitute. She has nothing to her name.
But what about this stone house?
That's only a rumor. If you only saw how it was put together. The walls are only faced with stone. Inside they're all hollow, filled with all sorts of trash and rubble.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. Don't you know how these sort of things are built? Any which way, as long as you can put a mortgage on it.
You mean to tell me there's still a mortgage on it?
That's just it. Not only is there a mortgage, but the interest hasn't been paid in 2 years. And then there's the brother in the Senate, who has his eye on it. You've never heard of such litigation. He's so ruthless, he would sell the clothes off his mother's back.
Why, that lie was a magic and a fraud! If you lied, the screws the old woman. And if it is the truth, she'll be sorry.
Excuse me, sir, but unable as I am to speak the French language, I'm having some difficulty ascertaining whether someone else can speak it. What about the young lady? Does she speak French?
Not a syllable.
You're sure of that?
Of course I'm sure. 100% sure. My wife went to school with her, and she was notoriously lazy. She always had to sit in the corner in the dunce's hat. The French teacher had to beat her palms with a ruler. The marks are still there.
Yes. The minute I saw her, I had a premonition she didn't speak French.
Oh, that old French! You should have praise that magic you were saying about aria, operatic aria. Houses, carriages, silver spoons. Just like a page on a fairy tale. You just get in and ride away. Just wait till I get my answer her. But there she is! You
What did I
You lied to me about the house, about walls, and everything!
But I didn't build it! Maybe that's how they're built!
And there's still a mortgage on it, damn you!
Oh, why are you cursing at me? What did I do to you, huh? You should be thanking me for all the trouble I've gone through to make you happy.
It's true, Fiocla. You told me she spoke French.
She does. She speaks German, too.
No, I understand she only knows Russian.
So what if she only knows Russian? Huh? She's easier to understand in Russian, huh? What if she spoke Mohammedan? You wouldn't understand a word she was saying. You should have some respect for the Russian language because it's very well known and all the saints spoke it.
Just wait till I get my hands on you. You come here now!
I'm not coming over there! You beat me! You're a bully!
What? I'll report you to the police. Teach you to respect your betters. And you can tell the young woman in there from me that she's an imposter.
Well, I think you're a damn lobster yourself! What a temper! Just because he's fat, he thinks he's something special.
It's true, Fiocla. If I'd have known what kind of superficial education she'd had, well, I never would have stepped through this door. And that's the truth.
Grown men acting like infants. That they lost their marbles in the trunk. One is for the moon, and the other one has higher education on the brain. What are you laughing at? What is so funny?
Matchmaker? Matchmaker? Oh, aren't you the one to get people married? You couldn't marry the deaf, dumb, and blind.
Take and leave of his senses. There's no other explanation.
Oh, I can't stop laughing. I'm gonna die laughing. I'm gonna burst. Oh, I can't stop.
I appreciate your cheerful disposition. In the 3rd Squadron, under Captain Balderov, we had a midshipman, Phantom, Anton Ivanovich. He also had a cheerful disposition. If you raised your pinky finger in the air like this, he'd start laughing. And he'd laugh and laugh until sundown. But if you saw him laughing, you couldn't help but laugh yourself, so we'd all laugh until sundown.
Oh, Lord have mercy. What was she thinking, the old fool? How can she get anyone married? You want to get married? Come to me. I'm the man for the job.
Excuse me, did you say that you can arrange marriages?
Like no one else. Anyone to anyone. Just name your partners.
Well, then you can marry me to the young lady.
You. But what do you want to get married?
For? Isn't that a rather odd question? It's no secret what people get married for.
But she has no dollar.
Well, that's true. It would be nice. But with a girl like this, you don't need a dowry. You can manage with just a small room. With something of a screen over here and a little partition where...
Yes, but what do you see in her?
Well, to tell you the truth, I rather appreciate her figure. I'm something of a connoisseur in that department.
That wrinkled old balloon! He looks like an empty tobacco pouch. No. You should never get married. You're not the type.
Not the type? What?
Well, no, I mean, just between the two of us, what can be said of your own figure? You're bow-legged.
Bow-legged?
You can't miss it. What do you think you look like?
Well, it seems to me that's a remark of a rather personal nature.
I only tell you because I can see you're a man of superior judgment. If you weren't, of course, I wouldn't say it. I'll get you married. But to someone else.
But I don't want to marry someone else. I'm quite happy to marry you.
All right. This. Only under one condition. Keep out of it. Stay in the background and don't interfere. I don't want to catch a glimpse of you. I'll take care of everything without you.
But how can you do that? The girl has to see me.
Absolutely unnecessary. Go home and wait. I'll have everything taken care of by this evening.
That would be perfect. Shouldn't I go home and get some of my service records? The girl might want to know something about me.
No, just leave. I'll tell you all about it this evening. Au revoir. So where the hell is Podkolyosin? He can't still be fixing his trouser strap.
What happened? Where did they go? There's nobody here.
Gone. All gone.
You can't imagine what a fright I've had. I've never been so frightened in my entire life. I'm still shaking. What a temper that egg has! What a tyrant. Still afraid he might come back.
Oh, he wouldn't dream of it. Neither of them will show their face in this house again. I bet my life on it.
What about the other one?
What other one?
I'd give anything to be able to hear what she's going to say through those luscious lips of hers. What a rose.
Balthazar Balthazarovich.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, him. He's nothing. Just a silly old fool.
What's he saying? There must be some mistake.
But I thought he'd be very nice.
He's a drunkard.
What can he mean? What?
I don't believe that.
It's a well-known fact. He has, terrible vices.
Excuse me. I never gave you permission to say things like that. What? The idea was to put in a good word for me. Mention some of my good points. What? You might be able to get away with saying things like that to other people, but not to me. Thank you very much. Oh.
Why did he have to come back? Look at him. He's a doddering old fool. He can't even stand up straight. And that's what you'll wake up to every morning of your life. Get rid of him. And we'll take care of everything together. But where the hell is Podkolyosin? That worm. When I get my hands on him, I'm gonna break him.
He's been slandering me when he promised to sing my praises. What a very odd person. Young lady, wait. Don't you believe him for a second.
Excuse me. I don't feel well. I have a headache.
Young lady, wait. Perhaps there's something you don't like about me? Well, it's true. I do have a little bald patch here, but it's because I had a fever. The hair will grow back very soon. Very soon.
I really don't care.
Young lady, when I put on a dark suit, my complexion is much lighter.
Good for you. Excuse me.
Young lady, wait. Wait! Will you explain? Why? What's the reason? Is there something vitally wrong with me or what? She's gone. This is the 17th time that's happened to me. And always in the same way. At first things seem to go so well, but when it comes to the point, they always turn me down. It has to be the 17th. But what could she be looking for? It's a mystery, a deep mystery. I could understand if there was something wrong with me, but I don't see how anyone could say that. Nature, thank God, did not stint on her bounty. I simply can't figure it out. Things seem to go so well at first. Should I go home and rummage through some of my trunks? I have some verses there that no girl could resist. I'll have to retrench. But it's a shame, a damn shame.
He didn't notice us. Did you see what a long face he had?
Do you mean she turned him down?
She did!
Well, it must be very humiliating.
Humiliating is not the word for it.
I still can't believe she said she preferred me to all the others.
Oh, preferred? What an understatement. She is madly in love with you. The terms of endearment she used. What passion! She is seething with it.
Yes, it's true. The endearing things a woman can think to call a man.
Oh, yes.
Mugsy Wugsy. Boodlekins. My little chihuahua.
But that is nothing compared to what she will be calling you once you're married. Why, in the first 2 months of marriage alone, strains of music will pour from her mouth that will simply make you swoon.
Really?
Really. Let's be serious, then. Now is the time to propose. Declare your love and offer your hand.
Now? Not now.
Yes, now, at once. Oh. Here she comes. I have brought you, young lady, the suffering mortal who now stands before you. Never was a man as stricken with love as he. It is truly a case to be pitied.
Don't you think you're overdoing it a little?
Shh, don't worry. He's rather, reserved by nature, so don't be afraid to speak up and let yourself, go a little. You know, wiggle your eyebrows at him, or lower your eyes and then shoot him a piercing glance, or give the poor devil an eyeful of your shoulder. It's too bad you're not wearing a dress with shorter sleeves, but this one will do. Well, I shall leave you to the delightful society of this young lady while I go take a look in the kitchen. The wedding supper's on its way, and the wine might have been brought. Well, goodbye. Courage. Ha.
summertime, on vacation, rowing is an agreeable pastime.
Yes. I often go on picnics with my friends.
I wonder what the weather will be like this summer.
I do hope it's nice.
Young lady! What is your favorite type of flower?
I like flowers that smell sweet. Carnations, I think.
Well, flowers and ladies go together.
Yes. They're fascinating.
Where did you go to church last Sunday?
To the Church of the Ascension. But the week before that, we went to Kazan Cathedral. But the services are the same in both of them, even though the icons are different.
Well, it would be the Feast of St. Catherine before long.
Yes. In about a month.
In even less than a month.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, today is the 5th. In 12 days.
Goodness. So soon.
And that's not even counting today. How splendid the Russian people are.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I mean the workers.
Oh.
They're climbing to ever new heights. Well, I saw a worker on a scaffold. And he wasn't even afraid.
Oh. Yes. Of course. Where was it you saw him?
Oh, on my way to work.
Oh.
I go to the office every day.
You don't mean you already?
Yes, I'm sorry if I bored you.
Oh, goodness, no. I've enjoyed your company more than I can say.
But I thought I'd been rather boring.
Oh, no. Really, you haven't.
Well, perhaps another time. Some other evening.
With pleasure, sir. What a worthy man! Up until now, I didn't know him well enough to appreciate all his qualities. How can I help loving him?
It makes no sense.
But there's no reason to stay. Haven't I done what I was supposed to?
You mean you proposed?
Well, no, I haven't proposed.
God, I can't stand it. Why not?
You just don't understand. A person just doesn't march in without any preliminaries and suddenly blurt out, Will you marry me?
What have you been doing all this time?
Well, we discussed any number of things. And if you must know, I'm enjoying myself rather much.
No, stop! Think, damn it. You've got to do something. Don't you realize that in less than an hour, you are going to be walking up the aisle?
Are you mad? Walking up the aisle today?
Give me one good reason why not.
Walking up the aisle?
But you gave me your word. You said that as soon as I got rid of the others, you'd marry her.
I'm not going back on my word. I only want to wait a while. I need at least a month to get used to the idea.
A month?
Well, naturally.
What, have you lost your senses?
At least a month.
But I've already ordered the wedding supper, you dumb ox! Von Kustach, be sensible and listen to reason. This isn't something that can be put off. It is now or never. Marry her today!
I'm sorry, but really, how can I marry her today?
Von Kuzmich, I'm asking you nicely. You can't do it for yourself. Do it for me, your friend.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, but really, I can't.
Be a good fellow. Of course you can. Be firm. Show some character. I know you can.
But don't you see, I can't. It's too embarrassing, really.
What's embarrassing about it? Where did you get that idea? You can see for yourself. You're not stupid. I'm not saying this to you to flatter you, or because of your position in the civil service. Simply because I care about you. Reasonable. Have a heart.
Well, you know I would if I could.
Oh, if I'm Kuzmich, I'm your friend. I love you like a brother. Do you want me to go down on my knees?
Why do that?
What? I'm kneeling. I beg you. This moment will be sacred in my memory forever. I'll be eternally in your debt. Do it!
I can't. I'm sorry, but I just can't.
You fathead! You beat everything!
That's right. Go ahead, insult me.
Oh. Who is it that I've been going to all this trouble for? Who is it that I've been turning myself inside out for? You idiot! Why do I do it? Why bother? Who needs you? To hell with you. I don't care if I ever talk to you again. Oh, no.
Well, I don't need you either.
You'll be nothing without me. You'll never amount to anything. Go ahead. Bring me a bachelor. You'll be miserable for the rest of your life.
Well, what difference does it make to you?
I'm doing this for you.
I don't need it.
And you're hell.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm leaving.
Good riddance to bad luck.
I said I'm leaving.
I hope you break your neck. I hope you get trampled by a runaway horse. I hope you fall in the ditch and choke in the mud. Or a rag. Not a man. I don't ever want to talk to you again. I hope I never see you again as long as I live.
You won't.
Damn you, you marshmallow! Idiot! seen such a man. How can anyone be so dumb? And come to think of it, I'm a fine one myself. I ask you all, am I any better? Oh, fool that I am. Fool! I can't comprehend this. Perhaps one of you could tell me why he acts that way and why I react in such a manner. Is there an intelligent being in the crowd? Perhaps a feminine perspective could lend me some insight. You, young lady, you, why not come join me in my world? Come along, come take a look, try to make some sense of it. For I can't understand. I'm gonna guess you're an educated woman, right? Learned?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Have a seat on my couch. My world. I'm just gonna ask you several questions. Do your best.
Okay.
Because I'm sure not doing mine. Tell me this. What is he to me? Friend! But he's not my family, is he? I seem to treat him that way, though. Next question. Ready?
Yep.
All right. What am I to him? Okay, let me give you some options. Am I his aunt?
No.
No! Would I be his nursemaid? His godmother? Mother-in-law? No! Intelligent young woman. So why do I do it? Well, for that matter, why does anyone do anything? No, you couldn't, I can't. Worm! That disgusting pig snout! I can take you, you idiot, and knock the stuffing out of you! Punch you in the nose, kick you in the shins, and in the belly, backside, everywhere! No! Leave this world before I lose control! I do not want you to be injured, kind lady. Thank you for your assistance, but you obviously can't make sense of it either. You're all right. Thank you. What's worst of all is that it doesn't cost him a thing. He doesn't give a damn. What a blight on creation. Got something for you. I want you to just take a look at his stupid face. Yes, I carry it with me. Don't ask why. Have you ever seen such a face? No! You know why I can answer for him? Because they come like this, but once in a century. You can't make them like this or the world would go stark raving mad. I seem to have been given the burden to pay attention to this illogical, irrational soul. What was God thinking when he made this one? He must have been hitting the vodka pretty hard that night. I don't understand. You don't understand. It is enough to drive me stark, raving, mad, insane. He's not going to get away with this. Oh, no. He's not! I'm going to go after him and get him back here. If it kills me! Ah!
trembling. Farewell, my simple maiden's life. Years I spent in peaceful solitude. Days came and went, one by one. Now I'm getting married. What can the buildings all have? Children! Rowdy little boys! They'll be born, grow up, get married, and it won't matter if they marry good men. But what if they marry drunkards and gamblers who have no respect for their property? I never really had much fun. I'm already 27, and I'll never be a little girl again. Why is Ivan Kuzmich taking so long?
Young lady, I've come to say a certain thing. But first tell me something. Doesn't it seem strange to you?
What is it you want to say?
Now tell me, really, isn't what I'm about to say seem strange to you?
I have no way of knowing.
No, you must tell me first. Isn't what I'm about to say seem strange somehow? This is something you have never heard before. It's about it. No, it would be better if I said later.
But what is it?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was going to propose it. But somehow, I have that.
Oh, God. What sort of man is this? Some sort of bedroom flipper. He's not a man, he's the shadow of a man. It's a little like a caricature.
What is it you have doubts about?
I don't know, but I have that.
How stupid this is! How stupid! Young lady, you must see what he is trying to say. He is asking for your hand in marriage. He's trying to tell you that he can't live, can't exist without you. All he needs is your consent to make him a happy man.
Please don't.
So what is your answer, young lady? Can you find it in your heart to grant happiness to this lowly mortal?
I would never presume to answer for the happiness of... Yes, I consent!
Naturally. And about time. But will you also give me your hand?
Wait!
God bless this union. I approve and condone. Marriage is a serious step. Not one entered into late. It entails an obligation of a totally different order. If I had time to explain it, I would, but I don't, so I won't. But Yoyosin, it's your bride. Now you not only can, but must.
No, young lady, it's all right. Everything is all right now. What a lovely hand. How can you have such a lovely hand? Oh yes, we must get married at once, without delay.
At once? Isn't that very soon?
Well, no, if it was up to me, we'd be married already. The sooner the better.
Bravo! Bravo! Now you are... Drew, I always expected great things from you. Young lady. You must go and get ready. I've invited the guests, and the carriages are on their way. You're what you ready to sit.
Yes, of course. Been ready for ages. I'll be back in 1 minute.
forget this. Next spring, I will make it a point to visit your father's grave.
Oh, it's nothing. I did it for your sake. Well, come here. Let me kiss you. God make you happy and prosperous, and bless you with numerous offspring.
I truly thank you. It's as if the scales had dropped from my eyes. A new life is opening up before me. I see the whole of creation, breathing, and pulsing, and throbbing, somehow exalting itself and pulling me along with it. And before I didn't see or understand a thing. I was just an ordinary man, living an ordinary life, without a glimmer of awareness or insight.
Now, I need to run out to the kitchen, but I'll be back in 1 minute. But I better take his hat with me, just in case.
Yes, it's true. What have I lived for until now? Did I understand the meaning of life? No, I understood nothing. Nothing! And what was the point of my solitary existence? Was it useful? Did I learn anything? The days went by one after the other. I went to work, ate, slept. I was nothing but the most ordinary of men. And now I realize how ridiculous it is not to get married. And when you think about it, you realize that countless number of people live their whole lives like that. If I were the Tsar, I would make it law that not one adult male be allowed to remain single in all of Imperial Russia. There wouldn't be a bachelor left in the country. Not one. I don't believe it. In a few minutes, I'll be married. All days of happiness that exist only married to him. Words can't describe such happiness. But when you think about it seriously, no matter what you say, it's somehow terrifying to tie yourself down for a lifetime. And once you do, nothing. Not regrets, not second thoughts. Nothing can make any difference. Everything is final. Finished. Even now it's too late. In a few minutes, I'll be standing at the altar. There's no way out. The carriage is arriving and people are waiting at the church. But wait, surely there must be some way out. No, of course not. People are waiting for me. I can't leave. It would be wrong. No, I can't. But wait. The window is open. What if I left? Why not? No, I can't. Oh, no. Undignified. Besides, the window is high. I fall. Not really that hard. Only a story, not a high one. No, I can't. How could I? I don't even have my hat. Now, how can I leave without my hat? It's awkward. But do I really need my hat? I have to have it. What if I gave it a try? Why not? Shall I? Here goes.
Driver, conductor, the Simeonovsky Bridge. All right, let's go.
Don't know what's wrong with me. I feel so shy and I'm trembling all over. If only he'd left the room for a minute and I were alone. But where is he? There's nobody here. Where did he go? Fyodor! Where is Ivan Kuzmich? He's in there. In where? He's in here, sitting in this room. No, he isn't. What? He couldn't have left the room. I've been sitting in the hallway the whole time. Then where is he? But I don't know where he is. Did he go out another way? There is he with Arena Fenton and Mama Snow? Aunt Arena! Aunt Arena! What is it? Is he not Kuzmich with you? No! He must. Here, I haven't seen him. But he's not in the hallway. Well, it's obvious he isn't here.
What's the matter?
We can't find Ivan Kuzmich.
Can't find him. Did he leave?
He couldn't have left.
Well, he didn't leave and he's not here. Explain.
I don't know where he is. I was sitting in the hallway the whole time.
And he can't have left by the back where I would have seen him.
Oh, damn it. It makes no sense. He can't simply vanish without leaving the room. Is he hiding somewhere? Ivan Kuzmich, where are you? Stop acting like a fool and come on at once. This isn't funny. The church is full of people who are waiting for you. It's high time you were there. You would have left. There's no other way out. He has to be here somewhere. His hat is still in the other room.
Should we ask Dunyashka? She may also. Down on the street. Dunyashka! Where is Ivan Kuzmich? Have you seen him?
Yes, ma'am. He's
Out
out that window.
the window!
Yes, ma'am. And afterwards, he picked himself off and drove away in a cab.
What? Your line is impossible.
I swear, the janitor's on too. He hired a cab for 10 gold and drove away. want to jump out the window.
Nothing. You don't understand. I'll go after him. I'll get him back.
Oh, go on. Go see if you can find him. And what he knows about getting people married. Well, it's one thing when a man walks out the